You're watching video of a zinc factory near the Russian town of Chelyabinsk being hit by a meteorite. Greg White is joining us from Moscow for an update. Greg, what is the latest on casualties?
We've got several hundred injuries, mostly relatively minor. It appears people who were hit by flying glass and things like that. The zinc factory was actually hit by the shockwave from the meteorite flying overhead. The meteorite seems to have landed in pieces on the ground. Outside populated areas, there's reports of a couple of craters, but no damage from that. The bulk of the damage was in the city as the flash of light and then the blast crossed over the city early this morning.
From what I can gather, Greg, it was basically a streak of light across the sky and then a fireball.
Precisely. Eyewitnesses in the video you can see on the internet suggest a bright light. It was about 9 o'clock in the morning local time, rush hour, and the sort of unnatural light, extraordinarily bright, and then a fireball across the sky, leaving a trail like that of an airplane, and then extremely loud explosions, either sonic booms or the echoes of the meteorite breaking up. The Russian Academy of Sciences says the piece that entered the atmosphere might have been as big as 10 tons, and then broke up into smaller pieces and mostly burned up in the high levels of the atmosphere. This apparently is not an uncommon astronomic phenomenon, but it's pretty rare that it happens in a populated area.
So it does look as if perhaps this was a single meteor as opposed to a meteorite as opposed to a shower.
That's correct. It does look at the moment like it was a single meteor that hit the atmosphere and broke up into a few pieces and largely burned up. And it doesn't seem to be related to this other larger meteor that's expected to come near the Earth in the next 24 hours.
I was just going to ask you about that because it is a bit coincidental that there is this asteroid that's supposed to pass by the Earth tomorrow. No connection here. Is that the line most people have been taking?
Yeah, as far as we can tell from scientists, that there's no connection. This is separate. That these sorts of meteors hitting the Earth's atmosphere are quite common. And what's unusual here is the scale of it and the fact that it happened over a populated area.
So I mean, but basically, there hasn't been any major destruction as a result of this.
No, so far as we can tell, the worst of it was what you see from that zinc factory where the shockwave knocked down the wall and blew off some of the roof. There's a lot of broken glass, a lot of sort of the facades of buildings broke, the windows blown in and things like that, but nothing terribly severe. And the injuries all seem to be relatively, the bulk of the injuries seem to be relatively minor. People needing stitches and things to be sewn up from having been cut by flying glass.
Brilliant. Greg, thank you very much indeed.
Glad to be here.